Welcome back to the #1 automotive podcast in the entire world, and we're going to call it that until it becomes exactly what I'm saying it is. This is Crankshaft Radio, and you are in for quite a treat of an episode. We got a lot packed in here for you, all good stuff. We got the boys with us. Boys, how we doing?
Pretty good.
Excellent.
Glad to hear it.
Ready to crank some shafts.
I've organized this episode slightly more than last time, so I have some talking points for us. First off, just a side note, we're almost at 100,000 on YouTube. So thank you to all of you out there who are watching this.
Crankshaft.
We might even hit it during the episode. That would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think we're at, if I check right now, we are currently sitting at, if I refresh, hold on, stick with us here. We are sitting at 99,832.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty good.
That's good. It would be a nice birthday treat. Tonight is my birthday. Today.
So everyone wish this guy happy birthday with a subscription to his channel.
Yeah, if you're not already subscribed, definitely go do that. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe if you hate the content, but you won't hate it. Something that we should address, because that was something that happened this week, was we got in a little beef with WhistlinD Diesel.
I wouldn't call it beef as much as I would just call it him being upset about something and then making 1,000 people hand us an L.
WhistlinD Diesel, man, there's no hate. He produces some crazy content that a lot of people watch, but I think he's out there to create some beef sometimes.
Yeah, just if you don't know what happened, because I didn't really make it very public, is he made it public. There was a video I posted quite a long time ago, one of the earlier videos that I made, and it was about the Toyota Hilux and how durable the Toyota Hilux was, or is, as a car, or a truck, whatever you want to call it.
Which, by the way, is pretty much a concept that was created by Top Gear about 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's a very well-known thing. It's so well-known that there's a lot of militia groups that use Toyota Hiluxes to fight in wars. But that's not really the point here. So I posted that video. I did happen to use some clips from one of his videos because obviously WhistlinD Diesel, he's the master at destroying cars, and he did happen to destroy a Hilux in one of his big videos. What I should have done, and I will take full responsibility for, is I should have put the credit to his video in there, like we're doing with the new videos. If you see the new ones, there's a credit at the bottom for every clip that we use. I should have been doing that. To be honest, I didn't really think of it at the time. I was just making videos. There was no one watching them. I was just doing it for fun. So he finds this video all these months later, and fairly enough, he's upset, I think, that there wasn't credit to him. But I've forgotten about this video. And he goes on his story with 2.5 million followers on Instagram and calls me out and says that I steal his content. And sends his entire following of loyal fans over to me, which if you guys want to write bad comments, that's totally fine. When people start putting racial slurs on the comment section for some weird reason, that is just not okay, and we don't condone that, so obviously those got deleted. It's all fine now. I'm sure he'll forget about it. Probably. But yeah, we also added credits. So if anyone is truly upset by that, that is added. And look, he's in the right for that. I just think he went about it the wrong way. He could have DM'd me if he really wanted to deal with it.
He should have just DM'd
happy to fix it. I totally forgot.
Yeah.
So I'm in. Hey,
that was a long time ago.
That was a while ago. But had he DM'd me, even if he would wanted me to delete the video, I really would have deleted it. But he kind of just went about it in a way that wasn't ideal. But freedom of speech, he can do what he wants.
I think you can always just reach out to someone privately and say, hey, man, it's not cool that you did this. Where do we go from here? And two level-headed individuals can sort it out. I think it just shows and this is not a diss to WhistlinD Diesel, but he's not a super level-headed guy. He destroys nice cars, and he calls people out when he sees them do something he doesn't like. So fair enough.
Hey, if anything, it actually helped me. So if he was trying to do damage, all it did was bring a lot more followers my way and a lot more attention. So thanks, I guess. If you do have a problem though, and you are somehow watching this video, just DM me, dude. I'm more than happy to chat about anything, and I'm really not out here for any malicious reason. I just like making videos, and I think your videos are cool.
I was gonna say we all have watched your videos.
Yeah.
We definitely have, and they're pretty funny. And I would love to be able to do what you do. We can't afford as a collective to buy any cars and destroy them yet. That's kind of the goal. We would love to be able to have fun with crazy cars, but until then, we're just gonna have to report on stuff. That's what we do.
Yeah, and we'll definitely add all the stuff moving forward. I had one other person reach out to us who had used one of their clips a long time ago, and he was so nice, and we just added the credit, and that was that. But yeah, if anyone does see one of their clips in the old videos, I will happily add credit. That's my bad. But moving forward, we are doing that. So that kind of closes out that chapter. Did you have something to say, Noah?
No, car news is next.
Car news,
Ooh.
yes. Okay, well, a couple things. We covered this today, but the Rimac Nevera, which I just learned Nevera means fridge in Spanish. So it's
that thing must be cold.
It's the Rimac Fridge to all the Spanish-speaking people. It beat itself and set the new fastest top speed for an EV production car at 258 miles an hour. So it did do 252 before, but it also does 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's fast.
I'm not personally crazy about Rimac.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not.
I think they're kind of cool.
If they
Yeah,
were,
they're cool.
It's cool. If they were powered by engines, I'd be all about it.
I would be into an engine.
But when it doesn't make any sound and it nearly kills Richard
Hammond, yeah.
I love that guy.
Things are
should
death
not-
traps.
Probably was a user error, but
That's all good.
regardless.
Things are freaking death traps, man.
Kicking the mic
It's
wire.
all good.
Richard Hammond is the best driver ever, so
Yeah,
he doesn't
he's
crash.
proven plenty
He
of
never
times.
crashes.
Other news, this happened this week, but the AMG One set the fastest production car lap on the Nurburgring. It was a wet lap too, kind of wet. It was damp.
It was wet in some places.
He
I was
lifted.
just watching this lap time, and what was it? 7 seconds ahead of the
8 almost.
2RS MR.
ahead of the GT2 RS. And for that to be a wet lap time, like, I just consider that a wet lap time. There were so many instances where he was clearly taking it relatively easy because the track was wet. Oh my God, that thing blew my mind.
Yeah, that thing's
It is
scary.
Ridiculous.
It actually makes you question, like, when you watch the newer Nürburgring lap times, like from these cars, and you see how horrifying it is them going around that track, in like from the driver's perspective. How much faster can we really go on that track?
We can go faster.
It's terrifying.
We can go faster.
I mean, we know that there's race cars that have done like sub 6 minutes.
Yeah.
I think. There's race cars I believe that have done that.
519,
Yeah,
I think,
I think that's the fastest.
Is
The Porsche
The
919 hybrid, yeah.
That's absurd that a car can do that.
I think that we will continue to see race car technology progress like beyond our wildest beliefs, and the road cars are just going to keep following suit. Like the road cars, I mean, you can't really call the Project One a road car. Like, I guess you can, but it's a race car, really.
They call it a production car, but like you can literally only get one if you're like a Mercedes preferred customer and you bought a GT Black Series.
And
you spent $10 million.
And we're watching Chris Harris talk about it, and everything that he's saying, it's loud, it's uncomfortable, it sounds just like a race car, like the gear noise, the shifting noise, just everything is just points to it being a race car. And like, at what point is that?
That makes me
crossover.
want it.
Yeah, I want it. It
Makes me
doesn't
want
stop.
it so
It doesn't
bad.
stop me from wanting it. It's just like, what do you define it as? Do you define it
If
as
it's
a road
street
car?
legal,
If it's street legal,
We're
is it a
getting
road
to
car though?
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I think that I've heard from a lot of people too, just in comments. The GT2 RS MR is honestly like less of a race car than the Mercedes, and it's
nice.
It's half the.
It's a nice car.
Not even
I
just
would
half
road
less
that.
the money. It's
it's
multiple times less the money.
It's
And Porsche will probably beat them with a new GT2 RS.
I don't know if Porsche will beat that car unless they do an actual hypercar.
That's a 7-second.
Especially
first of
when
all,
AMG gets back out there and sets it on a good dry day.
on a dry day.
That's a good point.
I think that is at least a 10, 12 second lap faster than a 2RS on a dry day.
Yeah.
And like a new GT2 RS, it's just not gonna touch that. It's just
Porsche's gonna have to build the 918 successor if they want to come near that car, which I'm sure
I
they will.
agree.
Yeah.
Some crazy electric hypercar.
I
Do we
like
know
this
what the-
battle.
Do we know what the 918 lap time is? Can we pull that up real quick?
get
I'm
it.
curious about that.
Guesses?
I don't even know if they
What did the
actually
Project
even
One
ran
run?
it. Is there an official lap time for that car?
6
6
minutes,
57 seconds. That's pretty fast, but what was the 2RS time?
GT2 RS MR Nurburgring time. 6 minutes, 43 seconds, so
Okay.
more than 10 seconds faster.
Yeah.
Because to me, I wonder if they just put the 918 on Cup 2Rs, how much time would they gain? Because that 918 was probably on like the early Cup 2s.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I mean, that's also another thing to think about is like, what tires are you running? And if they're racing slicks, then they're racing slicks, and if they're road tires, then they're road tires. And
I'm
do
sure
you qualify that still as a road car or a race car? Like, it's
I'm sure the
definitely
Mercedes is on some AMG developed Michelin Cup 2R because that's what the
Yeah,
Black Series
I'm
comes
sure.
on.
Oh,
I'm sure.
have you guys seen any footage of the Valkyrie driving?
Yeah, it's sick.
That thing's insane.
Yeah.
It's
It's
has
definitely,
the potential to beat
in
it.
my opinion, it's cooler than the Merc.
Would you? Yeah. Which would you have? I would
I'd
have the Valkyrie.
Yeah, the Valkyrie's crazy.
You need that. I just
Yeah.
want the engine.
Yeah.
The Valkyrie's insane. I think the Valkyrie is the most likely contender to beat it.
Right
the
now,
Valkyrie
yeah.
is technically, I guess, it technically also is a production car. If you could really call either of these cars production cars, they're like a kind of just a way of getting into that record territory and
Yeah.
doing something crazy, which I respect. Yeah, in terms of more Nürburgring news, people saw the Honda Civic Type R, the new one, driving around the Nürburgring with nobody on it. I think Honda will take back their title as fastest front-wheel drive production car. They only have to beat that Megane Trophy RS Cup
Something
R or whatever it is. It's got a long name, but
It's a cool car, though.
Yeah, they're likely to take back their pre-existing record, I would guess.
Let's talk about the Type R for a minute because it's been nuts this week with Type R stuff, Type R this, Type R that, and I want to know what you guys feel about how it stacks up against the Corolla GR because my personal opinion is it's the GR for me every single day of the week, but there are plenty of people out there saying that the GR is not as impressive as they would have hoped and that the Type R is blowing their minds. So
the Type R is likely the Type R has continuously been a car that has very much surprised people for, I think, just because they don't expect a lot from a front-wheel drive car. It makes a ton of power. It's on they really know how to develop a car. Like, those cars drive incredibly. Even the older ones, I obviously haven't driven the newest one. Yeah. I can't speak for the GR Corolla, but there's also competitors like the new manual Supra. Like, that could be a
I
competitor
don't even
as
think
well.
that's in the...
They're in the same price range.
Yeah, I guess same price range.
I wouldn't buy any of them, personally.
I would buy a GR Corolla easily.
I don't think
I'd buy the Civic Type R.
You're spending like 50 grand on those cars.
Ooh.
I am going to go buy a used F80 M3.
Yeah, but if used is out of the runnings...
Well, I'm not going to buy a brand new Toyota for 50 grand. If used is out of the runnings, I don't know.
yeah, right. But I would take a GR.
If I'm going to choose between the two, I'm going to take the Corolla just because I can drift it.
Yeah, it's
You
all-wheel
just slide
drive.
it around.
It's
It's
way more of a rally car. It's
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter about the lap time as much to me, as long as the GR isn't like popping engines all the time, which I don't think.
No,
it
I don't
is.
see it doing that.
Um,
I'd love to drive that Corolla, but again, I'm not really
People
interested in that
speculate
either.
about that. They're like, "Oh, it's a new car. It's gonna be a lemon and have all engine problems." But at the end of the day, it's still a Toyota, right? So it's how bad can it really be?
Yeah.
It's not a very it's not like they put a crazy engine in that car that makes way too much power for the block. Like,
Yeah,
they
it's
know what they're
300
doing.
horsepower.
They're taking an engine that they know is built well, and they're probably they're tuning it down most likely.
It is still 100 horsepower per cylinder. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's
a lot
pretty
of
good.
power.
Yeah. What is the horsepower number on that?
300.
300.
I think.
It's a 3-cylinder. Yeah.
Wow, that
Something
is
like
crazy,
right?
actually.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Toyota. It's probably pretty durable.
Yeah, I
The
think
only
so.
thing I can imagine, like, on some of the newer engines, and they've had this problem with a bunch of newer performance cars, is when they have the cooling, the block, they have like the cutouts for the cooling. I forget what that's called.
Open deck.
Yeah, when they have the open deck cooling, I know there's sometimes issues on like newer cars of the like when the head gasket like shifts.
Yeah,
You
or
can-
warping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It can
open
leak
deck.
in.
Yeah, open deck blocks are like awesome and also a nuisance with high horsepower applications, but it's really like annoying to have a closed deck block, street
I mean,
car
high
that's
horsepower
lower.
application too is like then you're just not cooling it as efficiently.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like-
You're not. It's stronger, but it's also can't be cooled nearly as well as an open deck.
And
So
when you're trying to make 300 horsepower out of 3 cylinders, you need to cool it properly.
exactly.
That's
It's
fair.
got to have coolant jackets. Anyway, we're sidetracked. I still say GR Corolla every step of the way, but the Type R it looks better. I'll give it that.
Type R has improved a lot.
It doesn't look better than the Corolla. Let me just put that out there, but it looks better than it did.
Way better. The front end looks really
Yeah.
good. The wing, better but still big.
Yeah.
The wing could be toned down even a little bit, like more. I feel like. But
Part of the car, though.
Yeah.
But
know
do you
what?
okay.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you still think that there's like a stigma with it? Like, would you still see someone pull up to a gas station in their Type R and be like, "That's a Honda guy"?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I would just go buy a used car. I'd be like, that's a Honda guy that spent way too much money on that car.
Way too much money.
But then again, to teach
It's like
their
when
own.
you see like 55-year-old dudes driving stock STIs around. Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
What are
that's
you
fair.
doing?
F1. No, you don't watch it.
There's been a lot of stuff
dabble.
going on in the world of F1.
Woo! I know some of our audience watches F1. I guess I'll try to explain it as best I can. There's a lot that happened. But
Yeah,
what I
I
thought
can give
was
a rundown too. You know,
Will can
I
give a
love
rundown.
the sport.
I was gonna say the craziest thing that I feel like is going around the most is Max Verstappen, who is the current world champion and now technically the world champion again, even though there's still races left. Didn't let his teammate pass, even though he's already the world champion. Like he just didn't. He wasn't a good guy. Like he literally was.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah,
his only argument for this was earlier on in the season in Monaco qualifying. Basically, it appears that Sergio Perez crashed on purpose so that Max couldn't get his hot lap in, and that was the only race of the year where Perez qualified in first and won. So
Okay.
Max basically he didn't
That's an
say
assumption.
He didn't say it directly. Well, I mean it was like almost obvious, like because just the way he crashed and how it happened. But I mean, there's no real proof that he did it on purpose. But this is the only argument to be made for Max's case is he basically was saying that or implying that because that happened earlier on in the season and he didn't get his chance to get his flying lap in at the end of qualifying because he
Just gonna
crashed.
Block him out.
Which, I mean, to be fair, it worked and Perez won that race. But
That's true.
if that's
That's
true,
hard to prove.
which is very hard to prove. But that was Max's reasoning for not doing that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if that reasoning is the greatest reasoning because Perez has helped Max win a lot of the championships. And I mean, the same can be said. Max also helped Max win the championships. I mean, there would have been no one there to win it if Max wasn't arguably the best driver on the grid. But I mean, Verstappen does not hide his cockiness as a driver. He never
That's what
has.
people don't like about him.
He's a very, very aggressive driver, and he's proven to care about himself mostly in the past anyway. So it's not really that surprising, especially what happened earlier in the season.
I feel like you kind of have to have some level of cockiness to be an F1 driver in general. I mean,
There's some humble F1 drivers. Most of them
yeah.
are pretty low key guys.
Yeah.
It's just I think it's. Did you? I don't know if you saw what happened.
I watched qualifying where Haas
was
place.
P1. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
That was
Kevin
great.
Magnussen had the drive of his life out there.
Yeah. But wasn't that not?
P1 still P1, man.
yeah,
Doesn't matter.
yeah. It's not gonna last very long for him.
It didn't last very long.
Yeah, I mean,
It lasted
he ended the sprint
several
race
seconds.
in 7th.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But
But hey,
he had a great start,
Hey.
and it was just not. I mean,
Yeah.
that car cannot compete with the
Yeah, it's
Ferraris,
not-
the Red
no,
Bulls,
no,
and
no.
Mercedes. It just can't. So
Haas is slow.
he held his own in the race until he inevitably got into a crash with Ricardo. Which
Yeah.
also another crazy incident. Ricardo's just not having a good year, and honestly,
He hasn't.
he's looking a bit tired as a driver, and as great as he is as a person for the sport, it does not make sense for him to return as a driver next year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who I thought it did make sense to return as a driver next year was Mick Schumacher, just because of how much Haas has invested in him. But as of the past couple of days, it's looking like Schumacher's going to get replaced by Hulkenberg, who was Aston Martin's reserve driver this year. So to see where Schumacher goes now, probably as a reserve driver, and even seeing if he stays in the sport would be interesting. I don't think that was the right move for Haas, just because of how much they've invested with him, and also what his name and him as a person brings to their team in terms of just attention. But, well,
We'll see.
They got rid, or they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Have the Schumacher name
Huh? I mean,
on your team is
Mick seems like a super nice guy too.
Yeah.
Like he's obviously like having to fill into the shoes of his dad, who was the greatest driver of all time, arguably.
I would agree
That's
with that.
that's big, man. That's not easy. And likely, look, he's probably not gonna win all those championships. Maybe he has the chance to win a few. I don't think he'll ever do the same exact thing. But like, his name carries a lot. There's a lot of, obviously they know this, but a lot of commercial opportunities to have attached to that name. Yeah, but it's like if like LeBron James kid goes into basketball, it's like the same kind of thing.
He did.
Oh yeah, he did. But
He's
he's not playing like pro basketball yet.
He will be soon.
He will.
He
be.
will be.
Yeah, he will be.
Yeah.
And that'll obviously help him out massively. Okay, I don't know if everybody does watch F1, but you should watch F1 if you don't already watch it. It's actually, I thought it was stupid at first. And then I obviously watched the TV show, which is like a very good entry into it, even though it gets a lot of hate.
If you want to get into F1, watch Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
It's great.
It makes you realize, I always thought it was stupid because I was like, okay, everybody wants to get first place, but this Lewis Hamilton guy gets first every time, so what's the point? But then I realized people are like fighting for like just sixth place. I didn't realize how like there was fights going on all across the board. So it's pretty exciting, and if you don't watch it, you definitely should, because we'll probably talk about it a bunch more on here. Something else that happened, Jay Leno.
Jay Leno
talked about this.
burnt his face to a crisp.
Jay Leno got a little bit of gasoline on his face while he was
good.
working on a steam car that he owns, which has a pilot light, so it has like a constant flame, and I think the gas dripped through it and then lit him on fire or something. I'm glad he's supposedly in stable condition and he's going to be fine, luckily.
Thank God.
But that's crazy, and you shouldn't mess with a steam car, I guess, anymore. But
What steam? What is that guy doing under a steam?
He has
engine,
like
man?
multiple steam cars.
He
No, yeah,
loves
but
old
what?
stuff.
But
He
my
loves
point
it.
is, what is that guy still doing under cars? Like, what? I didn't.
I kind of respect that.
No,
though.
I respect it. I holistically respect that, but why? Like, what? He
doesn't have to
just
be.
enjoys. He just enjoys it.
he's a funny guy, dude.
I respect it.
He's like, he's just, I know he's obviously was like a late night host and like he's a comedian,
Yeah.
but just his like attitude is funny. Like I saw him at that concourse down in Rhode Island, and somebody was like, "Can you sign my Enzo Ferrari?" And he was like, "I hate Ferraris, but I'll sign it."
He's a funny guy. No, he's a funny guy, and I think that at the end of it, like he's happy to be a car guy. Like he did his part, being a different sort of type of celebrity, and now he just gets to live his dream. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's cool. I
Gotta
can't-
wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, speedy recovery to Jay Leno. I can't imagine he is looking his normal handsome self.
I'm
right
also
now.
putting on the screen right now a picture of Jay Leno's home in Newport, Rhode Island.
That's a big home.
That is
Yeah, it's
more than a home. I'd argue.
I learned about it while I was down there. I didn't realize he had a house there, and I looked it up and was like, "Oh my god, this place is gigantic. It's actually crazy."
Yeah,
He's living the dream, man.
He really is.
Like he made so much money, bought all these cars, bought a crazy house, just goes and travels around and gets paid for it.
and works on his cars and enjoys it.
As long as he doesn't get burned. by
Works
the
on his cars and gets burn face.
Yeah, geez.
I hope we get to see him working on his cars and still doing car stuff after this, because
I don't think
some
he'll.
people shy away with injury, but he doesn't seem like that
No,
kind of guy. so-
he'll be right back to it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he'll be
He'll
fine.
be right back to it.
Something you guys
He'll need to wear a flame retardant suit.
likely
Yeah,
you
he'd
should
be-
protect the
it'd be a
face.
good move.
Bro, that's the money maker, bro. You gotta be careful. But electric Macan and Boxster. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Noah, did you see this?
They got the
I know about
Taycan
the
looking
Macan.
lights on the front.
Yeah, dude. So they electrified the one that's more noticed so far, like already been spy shots and everything, and I believe confirmed, is an electric Macan, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Everybody's
Of
going
course.
EV. The Macan
course.
is their cheapest entry level normal human being car. Most people are going to buy a Macan, make it electric, make a lot of money. That makes sense. What doesn't make sense is turning the Boxster electric and making it look like the really like early 2000s Boxsters. It looks horrendous.
Well, that's just 8 under. That's 8 under.
I know, but you can kind of tell the lines, and it is really bad.
That's just all the camo, though. I think.
You think so?
Camo does stuff to cars.
I'm pretty convinced that it's gonna look pretty good, but.
Well, there's a rendering of it.
It's been rumored for a very long time. I mean, that looks sick.
That looks okay if that's a real rendering.
Cool.
Oh, there's not a lot of spy shots. Where's the spy?
I don't mind that rendering.
There's the spy shots.
To me, I mean, it was almost a given. Yeah, it's all camo in the back, like the cladding and stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't look too nice.
It's not a surprise. There's been rumors for a long time that the new generation Boxster and Cayman are going to be all electric, not even just like some electric ones. Which would be good for my value of my car, but not good for people who like cars, because the Cayman and the Boxster are like two of Porsche's entry-level fun cars that normal people can have. So
I don't think that rumor is going to come to fruition. Like, if you think about it, that the Cayman and the Boxster are, maybe this is what you were literally just saying, but the Cayman and the Boxster are like the semi-affordable sports car, mid-engine, manual transmission. They're good cars for enthusiasts, and I don't think enthusiasts would be too happy if they go all EV.
But don't be surprised when they do, because it's been rumored for a while now.
I won't be.
At least it'll be.
And it will suck, because I'll be sad.
I'll be sad too. But the one benefit, if you want to look, on the bright side, is that the batteries are going to be super low down on every single wheel, likely. And the Boxster, which already has incredibly low center of gravity, will get an even lower center of gravity and probably become an absolute monster around corners.
It definitely will be the best EV to drive if they do switch all the way over to
It'll be light.
like a GTS version. But just can't make up for the flat. Well, they already lost the flat.
They're doing
anyways, but
they're doing really, really, really well with EVs. They just made their 100,000th Taycan after, I think it's only been 3 years since production started.
That is crazy.
And they are absolutely like ripping. And they clearly are going to make a lot of money off of it. They have invested a ton of money into alternative fuel to keep their internal combustion cars going. So I think we're all clear. Porsche's a brand that has like very much kept in mind the enthusiast.
Especially
they'll continue doing that.
As of like 2015, 2016, they've been the brand that cares about what the real diehard enthusiast wants. So that's why the rumors of these cars going all electric is pretty shocking. But again, they're just kind of experimenting right now.
Yeah.
I think that Porsche is the most likely brand to listen to the crowd when they do or do not like something. You know what I mean? When the crowd wants something, Porsche usually delivers. So I don't think we should be worried about anything on that front. I will say I have seen a ton of Taycans around, and today, even just outside of my work, I saw is it a Cross Turismo or Gran Turismo?
There's two. There's a Sport Turismo and a Cross Turismo. The Cross Turismo is like the all-road one with the plastic fenders.
Oh no, Sport Turismo. Then.
Sport Turismo is just the wagon.
Yeah. It was
Sport Turismo.
It was a nice
the Sport Turismo GTS. That's like the electric car that I would
I'll tell you that I would have.
It's quick.
Yeah. That I would have. I would take that over any electric car right now
100%.
on the market without a question. Fair. It looks fantastic. I bet you it drives amazing. So
it is the first electric car to look the part.
One more thing before we move on to the questions from Instagram. Again, if you want to ask us questions every week, they're on Instagram, so you should be following me there as well.
Captain Crankshaft.
So yeah, you know where to find it. Captain Crankshaft.
Probably the first thing now that when you search Captain.
Maybe. I bet. There's some other captains.
There's got to be some other.
Hey, what about Captain Sully?
Jack
what about Captain Sparkles?
Jack Sparrow
he's
beating you
got
out, man.
Captain Sparkles.
Oh, he is Captain Jack Sparrow.
Shout out Captain Sparkles. He has a great car collection.
Yo, Captain Sully, bro, the guy who landed the plane in the Hudson.
Yeah, Sully
Sully Sullivan. I bet he's at Sully Sullivan. 1, 2, 3.
Not Captain.
1, 2, 3, definitely. He's the 1, 2, 3 guy.
He is that.
Is that like when you have a professor where they're like, they have a doctor in front of their name and that you have to use doctor? If you're a captain of like for planes, do you make people use captain ahead of your name? Probably.
Like,
if you're a
Mr. Sullivan, it's great to meet you. That's Captain to
Captain
you.
Sully. Okay.
Captain Sully
You
Sullivan.
ever heard of the Hudson? That was
Captain
me.
Sully Sullivan to you. Ever
know
watched
about that plane?
documentary on me?
Ever heard of a bird strike? I had twice of those.
I had twice of them.
Maybe he is a car guy. I'll DM him right
He's a
now.
plane guy.
He has
for
his
sure.
Zonda.
I'm about to DM Sully.
He has a Pagani Zonda.
Oh, he does?
No. Maybe.
He could. though.
I mean, I can't say with
You don't know about
full
it.
confidence that he doesn't. So
Let's look it up. Captain Sully Sullivan.
What if he's just like? What if he's just like pretty run of the mill,
Oh wait, I found
middle
him.
class guy still?
Nah, Captain
Sully
Sullivan.
Sullenberger. His name's not even Sullivan. We have to cut that out.
What's his name?
Captain Sully Sullenberger. That's even better.
Yes.
Mr. Sullenberger. That's captain to you.
Oh yeah, we got it wrong. Oh, he's older than I thought he would be.
Yeah, bro's like 90.
What is he? What's his lifestyle?
Pretty. He looks like he goes around and talks to people.
Let me see.
Yeah,
Sully Sullenberger.
Sully. What a
Shout
legend.
out Sully Sullivan though. That's.
Oh, he's a family man.
I'm DMing him.
Yeah, I love your work, man.
Are you a
On this
car
day,
guy?
13 Flight 1549 changed my life.
Well, yeah.
Only
All right,
like
I
20
DM'd him. I said, "Are you a car guy?" We'll see what he says back. Mr. Sully Sullivan.
Sorry we butchered
Sully
your name, brother.
Sullenberger.
Sorry we butchered
Yeah,
your
he's
name
got
up.
kittens.
Okay, so now that we've taken care of Sully,
Shovels. What? Man, this Instagram is crazy. You have more followers than him.
do I?
Yeah, Sully, respond
By
to us.
30,000.
Wow.
Exactly.
I probably could have landed that plane in the fucking Hudson.
Is that how the qualifications work these
I
days?
think
Yeah, you only need over his follower count. You're good
You
to
just
go.
learn.
You two in this room are the last two people that I would want to land my plane.
You wouldn't want Sully Sullenberger to land your plane.
No, I would, but not you two.
Nah, we'd be good. We'd be good.
We'd be great. Co-pilot.
Yeah.
I think you two together. You two together
No,
might be
it's-
even worse than just one of
You
you.
just pull up, bro.
Yeah.
Would you want me?
No.
Oh God, no.
Well, me instead of him.
I'm not making that choice. And we're gonna, look, you
Okay.
guys.
What do you mean by that?
Yo, either or, because I'm going down either way.
Yeah.
There's no way
No,
that plane's
I
landing.
could land that plane.
In the Hudson?
No shot.
In the
bro.
water? You'd have a better chance of landing it normally, just on land.
I'd rather land it in
Then
the,
why'd he land in the water?
Bro, he had no choice.
I'd
Oh,
rather
man.
land it in the Dead Sea.
So it'd
It's
float.
like-
Nice.
just straight down. Don't worry, y'all. We're good. We're gonna float.
It, like
landing-
bounces back,
It's like landing on concrete.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
Tarmac.
Okay, let's get off our Sully Sullenberger rants.
All right, let's just clear this up real quick.
Why don't we clear it up? Why don't we possibly
I
clear
thought
it
it
up?
was all clear. I ain't gonna lie.
What?
All right, cement is like concrete, and
Oh,
asphalt.
not this.
And
bro.
asphalt is tarmac.
There's
right?
Are they all the same thing? Everybody calls it different. They're like asphalt.
Concrete isn't cement. Is it?
Okay,
No,
so
it
we
is.
have
It
four
is.
It might be though.
We have concrete,
is
cement,
asphalt,
tarmac, and asphalt.
Yeah, right.
What are they? The same thing or are they different?
Asphalt is tarmac,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
and
I agree with
concrete
that.
is cement.
I want to agree with that too.
But to me, right, concrete can't be cement.
Concrete is cement,
It
and
is.
asphalt is tarmac.
It is.
That's what it is.
Look, I'm gonna let that slide. That's
We
cool.
can let that roll.
Okay.
All right, now that that's settled, last piece of news before we hit the Instagram. McLaren's SUV. Did you see the rendering?
You know what's crazy? I don't care about that car.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
a
I ain't
big,
gonna lie.
I'm not a McLaren.
I don't like the new
enjoyer.
McLaren.
You guys hate
Yeah,
McLarens.
we do.
Well,
I'm a McLaren
didn't
hater.
see SUV McLaren probably coming out, even though they said they'd probably not do it. But all these companies are doing it. Ferrari did it with the Pursangwe, Lamborghini with the
McLaren
Urus.
needs sales, so
Everybody needs sales. All these car companies that make crazy hypercars and supercars, they need to make money somehow. SUVs is the way to do it. Sadly, McLaren is going EV route on their SUV instead of putting that 4-liter in there. However, it'll be fine. They'll probably make a ton of money from it if it does come out. They also maybe talked about doing a sedan too. Who knows if that's true? That could be cool. A McLaren sedan I'd be all right with. What is that? Oh.
just drop this watch like that.
Okay, but let's go to Instagram. Let's check out what we've got going on Instagram.
What
Let me check
do
if
you
Sully
wanna
DM me back.
know?
He might be quick on the DMs. Nope.
He's like 85. He's not quick on the DM.
He's got his granny doing that.
Okay, let's check. So
I meant to say granddaughter.
let us see. Someone asked us, what is the best wagon of all time? I'm going to need a second to think about that. That's a big question.
That is a big question.
E61 M5.
Do you?
That's my big answer.
Do you? It's funny that you say that because I immediately thought E34 M5,
Ooh.
which is definitely less whelming to drive than the.
Yeah,
than
I wouldn't be very
E61.
whelmed in that car. I feel like.
E61, yeah, it's not a very whelming car, but it is the best. I think that if you count, no, you can't count it as one because that's a hatchback.
Yeah, it's a
and not
hatchback,
wagon.
Hatchback.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with E34 M5.
I'm going to go with the V8 S4 wagon. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Which number?
Why?
That's not the best wagon in the world, Jackson.
That's the one I like, man.
That's what I like,
what I like.
man.
You know what? We'll let him be wrong for a little
whoa,
while.
Whoa. my other second choice would be, I would choose, like, I like E30 Touring, but you're going to say that's wrong, too.
No, E30 Touring is cool.
Yeah, that's
What do
cool.
you not like? That engine in that, it's a bad car in terms of handling. It sucks. Yeah.
The engine
but
sucks,
the engine
too.
The
sounds
engine is-
so good, and it looks really
No, because
good.
it's not the RS4
Yeah,
motor.
but
It's
you
just
know-
the
but
S4 motor.
On that train, if you're talking about engine sound, the E61 M5 is definitely the best sounding
I
wagon.
don't love the look
Well-
of the E61. It does sound insane, though.
It does sound really good.
That is undeniable.
Yeah.
There's one good sounding wagon that I had in my head, and that's gone.
Really, I like. You guys don't like new cars, but the new
RS6
the
is
new
alright.
M3 Touring is really.
That's
a
cool.
cool
Oh yeah,
car.
that's cool,
cool.
but it's not
It's
manual.
not the best. It
New
is
E63S
It
wagon.
is-
Oh, it's not
No,
manual.
it's not
Sorry,
manual.
it's not.
And it's
Yeah,
not
I
US,
like that.
so it's double bad.
I guess I would say E30 Touring. It's got to be a BMW. BMW just knows how to
Yeah,
make a
they
wagon.
make a good wagon.
BMW and Mercedes, but for me, it's just,
Manual.
Yeah.
E61 M5.
Yeah, if you can get a manual wagon,
You actually can't get the
M5, that's-
E61 M5 in manual.
yeah, you
You
can
can swap it.
Yeah,
You can't.
you can't?
No,
I thought
in
there were a
Europe,
very
they didn't make
limited
them in
amount.
Europe.
Oh, I thought there were a
No.
limited
I
amount.
mean, you can swap it very easily, but they actually didn't make the manual M5 in Europe. Only the US got that,
Interesting.
which is weird.
So next question. I feel like we're done with that one.
Yeah.
This is a pretty. I don't really know. This is a tough question. There's a lot in here. Most practical luxury car.
Cullinan.
I think it depends what we're calling as practical, because all luxury cars are usually quite practical.
Yeah.
Besides maybe like any two-door.
I don't
luxury
even
car
know
like
how
a
to
Ghost.
answer that.
I would
don't
say,
do
I guess,
research-
a Range Rover.
It breaks.
I feel like
But it's the best.
The new ones don't really break, though.
There's no money as a question.
Yeah, money
here.
aside, a Range Rover, in
Range
my
Rover,
opinion.
yeah.
Because they're a pretty rugged car, but they're also so nice.
They look great. They're comfortable on the inside. They're like literally the nicest cars on the inside, or close to it, and they can literally handle anything, any situation.
Yeah.
They're animals.
Like, it kind of depends on your definition. Because, like, to me, like, I would say a Cullinan is arguably as practical as the Range Rover, but I would feel bad doing
Yeah,
things to
I
a
would
Cullinan.
feel bad. I was just about to say, I would feel bad like going in rocks with the Cullinan.
Going into
Yeah, I
rocks.
mean, I'm probably not going to go in rocks anyways, but like I would though. if I had a Range Rover, I would.
Yeah,
I did,
exactly.
and I did. So
Yeah, I would do rock driving.
See, like as expensive as the new Range Rover is, if I'm in the market for all those cars and I can afford a Cullinan, I'll just buy the Range Rover, and I probably would off-road it if I could
also,
afford
the
a
Range
Cullinan.
Rover might even probably be better at rock driving.
Oh, it will be that. Yeah, 100%, 100%.
That's fair.
The only
Yeah.
car that would be better would be like a G-Wagon maybe, and it's just way less comfortable.
G-Wagons are cool, but the Range Rovers are really comfortable.
so much
But
better
is
to
a
drive.
G-Wagon really uncomfortable?
Vaguely.
Vaguely uncomfy.
Relative to a new Range Rover, I would say it is.
But it's more whelming than
Yeah. I don't really care about whelming though when it comes to
a...
those
No,
big
not
cars.
when it comes to that,
If I want to be whelmed by a big car, I'm gonna have a Urus.
no.
That'll whelm your socks up.
Would you have an RSQ8 or a Urus? You'd have a Urus.
I mean, I have a Urus if his money's aside because it's just better. But the RSQ8 makes more sense.
I'd have a Urus.
Yeah.
I know they're the same
I
car.
kind of like the RSQ8 looks better.
I like the Urus looks. I've actually driven them both weirdly, and the Urus is just like you'd think it would feel the same, and it doesn't, like at all.
How does it feel?
It just feels more aggressive.
More
It feels more
visceral.
dialed. Yeah,
But
feels,
it's built to be more visceral. They're the same car.
Yeah, no, I
underneath,
know.
but yeah.
But like you'd think they'd be pretty similar, and it wasn't. Like it was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
a very, very different driving experience, which was surprising.
Next question. This is an easy, quick one. Favorite car brand? I think we're all the same.
Porsche.
Porsche.
Yep,
Porsche. Okay.
clear on that.
Somebody said.
Actually, Ferrari, but like
Nah, but shut up. It's boring.
I think Ferrari look.
Martine asked us,
Yeah.
you have to buy an
but-
automatic sedan, 2010 or newer. What are you having? Has to be an automatic
sedan.
An F80 M3 comp or a G80 M3 comp. Actually, no, sorry. F90 M5 comp.
F90 M5. That's
Yeah.
a good answer. That's a ding, ding, ding answer right
'Cause
there.
you can't.
But,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I'm trying to think because
M5 CS. Give me that. Put that in my pocket.
I'm trying to think though because like I might have something else.
That's a tough one. I'm going to go Honda Accord.
2010 and Gemera.
Ah.
That's right.
Hey, that would
Yeah,
fall
that's
into
a-
place.
that's
Probably,
an automatic
I'd probably take an M5 CS.
I think I would too, weirdly enough.
No, I'd have the Koenigsegg.
It's cool, but I don't like the look of it.
I think they're weird looking.
Yeah, they're really weird
It
looking.
looks
It's
like a sperm.
2,000
It's
horsepower.
cool. Like, the cool
Yeah.
thing is, we'd have our M5s. You'd come over in the Gemera.
We'd be like,
see it.
we could have had that. Oh, that one question that Martine asked us.
I'd roast your toast with my Gemera.
Yeah, you would. But we'd have M5s.
And then it would break, and you'd have to call some bald guy.
You're talking
Yo,
about
what's wrong with it?
breaking your- yeah, but Christian would hook me up.
He'd be
would
like,
just
yeah,
3D
just
print me a new
fly
one and laser zone it over to my driveway.
Christian's a real life.
He's got a
Your
teleport machine.
BMWs would break, and they'd be like, "There's nothing we can do." Zikar is broken. The warranty is up.
No, they don't break.
There's
They're nice.
Nothing we can do about it.
Them new ones are nice, and it's got bucket seats in the rear.
Nice. That's
So
fire.
does the Gemera. It's got like,
Yo, no, that's a coupe, only 2 doors.
Coupe.
is it?
That's only got 2 doors.
Oh, but it's got 4 seats.
Yeah, it's a
All
2
right.
plus
So
2.
if it's a sedan,
M5s.
yeah, probably,
Yeah,
it's
it's
probably
a
an
sick car.
M5. Yeah, it's probably
It's
an
a sick
M5.
car.
Yeah.
It's such a sick car.
Somebody said, let's see here.
I could be lying, but I'm pretty sure it only has 2 doors.
Somebody asked.
No, I think you're right about that.
Somebody asked top 5 rarest classic cars.
I mean,
I'm not really.
I'm
sure.
not Google. If you're asking that question, you're capable of Googling
Yeah.
it.
I don't know. I
In
don't
my
know.
thought, it's
Dude.
the Mercedes, the one that sold the
The
only two of
SLR,
them, the
300
SLR,
SL.
300 SLR,
Okay.
Ferrari 250 GTO.
Those are pretty rare.
Yeah.
Those are pretty
Bugatti
rare.
Type 57
Yeah,
Atlantic
yeah.
thing.
The lost
Yeah, that's
treasure.
pretty rare.
There are probably so many that are just one of one
The
that
57
exist.
G
though.
tank. Yeah.
Yeah, there's-
like they're like you're right. It's literally like those one of threes random ones.
There's
that
a lot
are-
of rare old
Yeah,
cars.
there's a lot of those.
So,
Oh, those Mercedes like race cars, the old ones, like the 1914 ones with the like tubes
Yeah.
running off the side
yeah,
of it.
yeah.
A D-type Jag.
It looks like you
I
got
don't know
them
if
at,
a
like-
D-type Jag is super rare.
They're
though,
pretty
but
cool though.
They are. I like a
I'd have
D-type
one.
Jag. Yeah. Yeah.
Those old sports cars, what they used to consider sports cars, they're crazy.
Oh,
scary.
what's the Alpha that is like it's
Tipo
super rare.
the 33 Stradale.
Yeah. Tipo 33 Stradale Alfa Romeo. That is
Probably the best looking car
That
ever.
is the best looking car
Yeah.
in the entire world. You should just have you seen that car, Jackson?
I'm sure I have, but I have to refresh my
The
memory. I
Tipo
don't
33 Stradale is the actual best looking car in the entire world. It's so good.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
I know exactly.
Oh
what
my
you're talking
god.
about.
Oh.
Yeah,
And that's a rare bit of
Do
car.
the doors go up on that thing?
I suppose.
Bro.
I
Oh
didn't
my
know
God.
that. That adds to the allure.
Yeah,
Wow, that is a cool car. It does. It looks like Ferrari's old race cars.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
best
that's-
car.
that
pretty
is
much
beautiful.
in the world. Except it's probably pretty unfortunately, but
No, I bet it's all right.
yeah.
I bet it's got some character going on the road.
Yeah. But if you had to blind pick that or a 250 GTO, it's obviously
250.
Tipo.
Yeah. Yeah, you said
I'm always
250.
I'm always wrong on this podcast.
Tipo.
It's all right. It's not wrong. Yeah.
Jesus.
It's just opinion.
It's just opinions. Yeah, all good choices.
I'll get it.
Yeah, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with the
all good
Tipo.
choices. That's true though. Can't go wrong. What do we got here? Let me see what we're looking at. Let's see. Somebody asked, Rivian versus Lucid. Will both companies survive? They are two extremely different EV companies.
If I had to bank on one surviving, I would definitely bank on Rivian surviving because
Rivian's-
Lucid's just suspicious.
Rivian has the backing of Ford, I believe, and they definitely have the backing of Amazon. They are less likely to fail than Lucid is. Lucid is making luxury electric cars. Rivian is making, I would say, more adventure-based, like a bit more like a Toyota Tacoma.
I think they're just
compared to-
tackling it a lot better.
Yeah, I think it's because they're more, they feel more like a tech company. Like Rivian feels like a Apple almost, where Lucid is definitely more like this smaller electric car manufacturer. Although the Lucids, look, I've sat in one, and I've checked one out. They're really cool.
Yeah, they're
They
cool.
are actually like, I would much prefer, obviously, the price difference. I am not a Tesla fanboy. I would take a Lucid all day long over a Plaid.
Yeah.
I would.
I just go buy a Taycan Sport Turismo
Yeah,
GTS.
yeah. I'd take the Porsche over everything else. But I would say, I would take a Rivian over a Lucid.
Yeah, I think the Rivian, the pickup, but also just the big like Tahoe thing.
The SUV is
Sick,
built on the same
yeah,
platform.
Super sick.
So Rivian is killing it. They have 117,000 orders for cars.
I believe it.
And
They're
they
awesome.
were going to make, so this platform that they're on is the R1 platform. It's the truck and the SUV. They're built on top of the same thing. They are going to have
Noah's
to push
texting me
back.
about how bad you smell.
Jesus Christ, guys.
I am saying that.
That's so rude, bro. Sully Sullenberger is going to come over here and beat you up.
Sullivan.
Sully Sullivan.
And that's captain to you. Captain.
Sorry.
Oh,
Well, if we're
Captain,
both
like
captains, do we need to refer to each other?
That's true. You are captain.
Does that cancel two captains?
No,
cancel
no,
If
each
you
other
touch, you
out?
just both explode. It's like
A bird strike happens.
No, if you shake hands, both of you grow captain caps.
That's nice. Oh, but
we had a
Rivian.
different idea of how it would grow. Anyways,
We're all over the place today. Sorry.
I think that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rivian. So it's all the R1 platform, but they were going to make this R2 platform, which is going to be more. It's going to be cheaper, but they had to push back the R2 platform because they can't keep up with the orders for the R1.
I don't sound the like of that. I don't like the sound of it.
Why?
It's like giving me Tesla Model 3 vibes.
Tesla
I'm
Model
gonna
3
get
is
like, I'm getting like Chevy Colorado vibes.
I don't. No, that's cool. I like Colorados, but I don't like Tesla Model 3s, and it's the cheaper version of Teslas. Just, I'm just being like super annoying about it, but
No, you could
The
be
Tesla
right.
Model
It could
3?
end up being kind of
might be kind of bad.
the Tesla Model 3 and Y are like the best-selling cars. One of the best-selling cars in the entire U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Performance is
I
actually aight too.
I see Model 3s like more than F-150s nowadays. It's
That's
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, that's true.
I
That
was
is
like
true.
I was in like a quadruple Tesla sandwich this morning on my way to work. Like literally one in front, one behind, and two on either
Flank.
side. Like
You're getting
Some guy
escorted
somewhere
by-
could push a button and they would all just converge on you.
yeah. Elon could make those things crush my car in 1 second.
He's
if
seeing.
wanted
He
to.
doesn't. He's just seeing it in his head. He's got the chip in his head, and he's like
Yeah.
He's an
scanning. The that becomes a problem for the infrastructure. There's so many, and the infrastructure is just gonna get flooded. Like all the charging stations. I see a charging station like anywhere I go, full of cars. Never a free spot at any of those charging.
Yeah, whenever I'm driving one of the shop Teslas, it's like you actually gotta like wait to charge, which is so
And it already
annoying.
takes time.
Yeah.
I'd rather just fill up with gas.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for watching. We need to run, but this has been episode 3 of Crankshaft Radio. We're gonna have guests soon. Subscribe.